Today, let's talk about spirit guides. The call is coming from within, not beyond. In this video, I'm gonna debunk some common spirit guide myths, give you some really simple tools to access in your inner guidance, your inner connection with your spirit guide, so you can connect, have more flow, more confidence, and also not miss the divine messages that are here for you. There's a big misconception that spirit guides exist or communicate to us outside of us. One of the number ways that I can tell if somebody has a genuine connection with their spirit guide as opposed to their high intellect really tricking them comes to how they language their connection with their spirit guide. You know, our ego intellect likes to make spirit guides these things that are outside of ourselves, that we have to try for, that we have to reach for, that we have to figure out. And anytime that we're in ego and trying to connect to spirit, you can tell because your connection, I've seen this with my clients for years. People who have, you know, Mother Mary as their main spirit guide. And it's not just Mother Mary. You can actually connect to the energy of Mother Mary or Buddha or Peter, Paul, John, but it's really about it being larger than life. It being something so outside of themselves that in a way makes them special. When we connect with our spirit and with our guides, the call is coming from within. That's how we say it. So I had a gut feeling, I had a guide. We have to pay attention because in order to really notice the messages from our guides, it doesn't resolve in here, it's here. How does it resonate? Did it resonate as true? Did everything in you open up? Did it connect to your heart space? Or did it come through the portal of our heads that have a lot of expectations when it comes to spirit guides, when it comes to how we think it should unfold? Now, before I go any further, hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a fourth generation intuitive and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self, your intuition. So if you are new here, hit subscribe, hit that little bell notification. If you're returning, you know the drill. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. And so, you know, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Check out all my resources below. Got tons of free tools. Okay, enough housekeeping. Let's get into spirit guides. Number one, your spirit guides connect to you through the portal of your physical body. They speak in signs, symbols. They don't use a lot of words, and they often use a lot of humor. Spirit guides, what I find is that they bring a lot of joy and levity. But the only way that you're going to be able to know if you're getting a message from your spirit guide, first of all, is you have to be present in your physical body. If we are in our heads, constantly in the past and the future, trying to figure things out, you're gonna miss the call. Might have the most beautiful, clear, spirit-guided message, but you will completely, absolutely miss it. You know, it reminds me of a client of mine who was really, you know, wanting to connect with her spirit guides. And she would get all of these really clear numbers that kept repeating. She kept getting these same messages over and over and over again, but she was so attached to what it was supposed to be. Anytime that she got a sign, anytime that she got a hit, anytime that she got a nudge, instead of sitting with it. How does that resonate in my own body? What unfolds? How can I quiet my mind to just see what shows up? She would immediately go to Google or research in all of the books. And there could be really good information, but unless we start to pay attention to what our own experience is, intuition really, and connecting with your spirit guides at the end of the day really means trusting your own experience. And we can use these tools and resources as a wonderful way of support to give us more context and information. But if that's our automatic, then what we do is we are affirming to ourselves that I don't know, and I can't trust myself, and I have to give my authority to someone else. Now, if we can first even just pay attention. So for example, if you get a number that repeats over and over and over again, before you run to find the context, to look up the numerology, to look up what it means. Just give it a minute. Sit with that. What does that mean? What shows up? What are the first words, the first feelings, the first hits, nudges that start to appear to you? And just sit with that. Bring it into your heart state. Does that resonate? And then afterwards, then we can go consult different books and guides and resources. Because what this does is, one, it helps to build our own intuitive knowledge, builds a connection with our own spirit guides and with ourself, really building our confidence in what comes up, and also allows our own spirit to speak to us and our own guides to speak to us, not through a filter of someone else. So that's a really powerful way. Second of all, when we are connecting with our spirit guides, we have to connect through the channel of our heart space. So the higher our own personal vibration, that's when we raise our vibration, that's where we get more in touch with the frequency of spirit. If we're in a low vibration, which means that we are overly identified with the physical world, with our bodies, with our stories, disconnected, if we are in a lot of negativity, those are all low vibration things. Now, if we can connect to our heart space, what it is that we love, being open and curious, opening up these different channels. These are simple ways that we raise our vibration, which raises the frequency, which allows our spirit guides to communicate with us. So third, we have to be present. Your intuition and your spirit communicates to you in the present moment. And if we are in our heads, you will miss Elvis Presley walking down the street as your spirit guide. And this is a really important thing. Because, I mean, let's be real. No one is present all the time. I'm not. I'm not. Definitely not. But making the space to even bring my attention. Am I present? Am I present to guidance? Am I in a place of listening? Am I available to guidance? Have I noticed the different ways that my guides are speaking to me? Have I given attention and weight to those different little channels? For example, I'm here in Paris at my mom's house, and one of the ways that my spirit guides connect with me is by leaving me pennies. It says you are on the right path. And just the other evening, last night, I was feeling disconnected in my head and a lot of anxiety, just in my own moment, as we would say. And I'm sitting talking to my partner, and I look down, and all of a sudden on the balcony was a shiny penny. And that resonated in my heart space of everything's gonna be okay, that I can let go. If I wasn't present, would have completely missed it. Or if I immediately started Googling, what is a penny? What does this mean? It would discount my own experience. So where we can notice, bring our attention, and then say, does that resonate? How does that feel? Because spirit guides don't come from out here. They come through here, the channel. This is where we hear them. So the more that we can be in our bodies, the more that we can be present, the more that we can be listening, the more that we can be available for guidance, the more that you will be, and the more that you are guidable, the more that your spirit guides will come and play with you and bring you messages of support. So another simple tool, ask yourself, where are all of the ways that I've already been guided? What are all the synchronicities that have already showed up? And affirm those things to yourself. The more that you affirm those experiences as true, the more that you affirm to your higher self that you trust your spirit guides. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I could do a whole series. I'm sure I went longer than expected, but I had a lot of fun. So tell me, what are the ways that your spirit guides communicate with you? What are the sensations in your body that you feel? Tell me below. I love to hear from you. And as always, don't forget to hit subscribe, share with a friend. Like I said, leave me a comment. I absolutely love them. Check out my spirit type quiz, my podcast with my mom and my sister. And if you want to work with me, I do both soul readings and mentoring. So check out my website, soniatully.com. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. See you next week. All my love. Bye.